Recently, NZXT has been working hard to give us the refresh of their cases. Thus, we have a new H6, which is a great case, both visually and with airflow. Then came the H7 refresh, again, stunning looks, even better performance. But now the focus is shifted to the new H5 low case, the H7's little brother, but can it fill the shoes of its siblings?
Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with the command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com.
It looks very similar to the H7, but of course it's smaller with a few distinct features unique only to itself. Dimensions now are 430 in length, 225 wide and 465mm tall and just about 7.3 kilos heavy. The front looks almost the same as the H7, but the side is where it differs a lot and where it has that iconic recognition of the H5 series, where the glass is covering the motherboard area while the PSU chamber is different. And oh boy, it's a lot different now with this angled mesh approach for more fresh air intake. But first, let's go around the case, let's tour the case. At the front you can notice a see-through mesh design, completely metal mesh panel with no dust filter since it is one already, with an embossed NZXT logo in the bottom section. You can remove it easily since it is held by pegs in place, and hiding under there are three 120mm fans, or better yet the F360 Core RGB cluster of fans, a single frame of 3 fans. This brings us to the fan support in the front, which is of course limited up to 3 120 or 2 140mm fans, and for radiators this means that only up to 360mm reds can fit here. On the side there is a tempered glass panel slightly tinted on the black model, while it is completely clear on the white one. Hiding inside is the famous NZXT cable bar, the homage to the old cases dating way back to the iconic S340 Elite case. Here you have plenty of holes for cable management both on the bottom, top and the side as well, hidden with that cable bar. The new thing here is the angled mesh PSU shroud, which in theory should give you plenty of fresh air for the GPU, since on the PSU shroud you can mount up to 2 120mm fans. The motherboard support is awesome here as well, ITX, Micro ATX, Standard ATX and up to Extended ATX 277mm in length, but sadly no back connect motherboard support. The GPU clearance is limited up to 410mm, and in case you want to use an air CPU cooler, you are limited up to 175mm. At the rear side there is only one F120Q case fan pre-installed, and there is space only for 120mm fans in here. Specs of this fan are on the screen. For a case fan it's pretty good. PCI brackets are completely removable without bars between them, so using a vertical GPU kit is possible, but you might lose the support for the bottom mounted fans. Top of the case also has a mesh panel secured with only one thumb screw at the back. The same dense mesh design as all around the case is used here. Space for the fans up top is limited to either 2 120 or 2 140mm fans. It might look like that you can mount 3 120mm fans here, but not. It just doesn't have that much space here, and I think that NZXT did this on purpose, so it will differentiate the tier position of this case compared to the H7 model. This decision also limits you in terms of radiator support, so it is only 240mm here possible to mount, and possibly 280mm, but if you use a low profile RAM modules, because it will interfere with taller ones. The I/O panel is also fairly simple, with a power button, single USB-A and single USB-C port, and one mic and headphone combo jack. The back side of the case has a perforated bottom part without dust filters, since it's dense enough and it is held in place with 2 thumb screws at the back. When removed, you can notice that there are zip tie points and hooks present where it is needed, as well as some metal channels to organize cables a bit better. There is no SSD support behind the motherboard tray, but you are limited only In the bottom with this included hard drive cage, which supports two 2.5-inch drives and one 3.5-inch drive on top of it, or you can completely remove the cage if you wish so. It also has about 1 cm of space to be moved further or closer to the PSU, which limits PSU usage up to 200 mm in length, with plenty of room to hide the cables. Now here where this case shines the performance. NZXT succeeded in making this a high-performing case. I used Ryzen 7 7800X3D here paired with RTX 4070 Ti Super GPU and NZXT Kraken Elite V2 240 AIO. This combination gave me amazing results, which I honestly wasn't expecting at all, especially not from a 240mm AIO. But as you may already have seen in my Kraken Elite V2 review, the temperatures here are amazing. Idle for the CPU was at 39 degrees, gaming was in the upper 50s, while in Cinebench tests it maxes out at 78 degrees and actually went lower as fan speed ramped up. The GPU was also cooled extremely well, idling at 29 degrees and maxing out at 53 degrees while gaming, which we have the perforated PSU shroud and bottom fans to thank for it. But this is something that I don't like as well, and I think NZXT made an engineering mistake here. You see, since there are no holes on the bottom of the case, the only way to mount the PSU is with its fan facing up. So technically it will suck air from the inside of the case. Yes, there is like an inch of gap between the PSU and PSU shroud bottom, but if you mount fans on the PSU shroud for the GPU, those fans are pushing air up to the GPU, PSU is pulling air down to it. So this creates a vacuum of air, since both the PSU and fans will struggle for air. There is a plenty of air circulating around the PSU shroud area for sure, but since most of the new PSUs won't even move a fan until fully blasted with power draw, this issue might be non-existent then, but something to consider in case you have a PSU that is spinning the fan constantly. The second issue is again with the PSU shroud, something that is noticeable. You can see everything through it, so your cable shame can be seen. You need to be very creative and mindful while cable managing everything inside of this case. And of course there is the issue that the case has no dust filters, just these dense mesh panels which will eventually let some dust inside, but if you are taking care of the case on a regular basis and clean it at least once a month, you should have no dust issues inside. This goes for any case, by the way. The case is priced at $89.99 for the non-RGB model and only $99.99 for the RGB model, which is technically a steal currently, since the case has awesome airflow despite the issues I mentioned. So if you're looking to upgrade or you need a smaller footprint case, this is an excellent case to get, given the fact that it performs so good for the price. Just again, keep in mind that you will need to work on your cable managing game a bit more. So, does it live to the hype of H6 and H7 models? Most certainly yes, and I'll see you in the next one.